So I made a video on Left 4 Dead 1's cut campaigns, and Left 4 Dead 2, it's actually no different. But one of the biggest differences between Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, Valve cut a lot more fat in Left 4 Dead 2's development because the game was coming out in less than a year. So from the game's inception, there wasn't really that much cut content compared to Left 4 Dead 1. There is some exceptions and some really strange maps that is in every copy of Left 4 Dead 2 for whatever reason. Here's one of the things that you can do right now if you have the PC version of the game. So type in the console command and then type in map C5 M1 soundscape. And then there's only one map in the game that is referred to in this way. By far one of the most interesting cut maps that is in Left 4 Dead 2, and anyone can load it up right now. As yes, this is a really, really early version of the Parish. And the Parish was largely speculated to be one of Left 4 Dead 2's first campaigns that was actually in development. And it's also one of my favorite campaigns ever. I love the detail in the Parish. I just love a good gauntlet finale as well as the Parish started this. To put in perspective, this beta version of the Parish map, it shows everything that you really need to see in an early version of a map, and you can play through it yourself. So you might notice a lot of stuff that the sky is dark, for example. They didn't have a daylight skybox yet. And you can see that they're starting to make a lot of the early models. Some of these models don't actually make the final iteration of this map. Like, for example, all these boxes, for whatever reason, it's too much for the source engine, for all these physics props in one table. Maybe that's why it was cut. A lot of this stuff, though, does remain in the final version of the map. But one of the things you'll notice right away as you reach the halfway point, wait a second. Where's the safe room? Here lies the biggest change of the whole map, as if you keep going, you'll notice we literally walk into map 2 right away. So there's a beta model of the hedges that are actually still in the game as well, and they look like Left 4 Dead 1 hedges, so you can tell they didn't really up the detail at this point yet. There's also a lack of detail compared to the final version. One of the interesting things is that right before the panic event, you'll notice there is no CETA containment car. It is literally just a small building there that has a nice mist effect that doesn't get used in the game. This is also probably to, I don't know, disinfect the survivors from getting in contact with the infected. Too late, I guess, but okay, whatever. It's a joke. Making my way downtown. Okay, if you continue into the panic event, you'll actually see that it's very similar to the final version of the game. And then you can finally make your way into the safe room at the end of the map. And you might be wondering, wait, this is a long map. Yes, the Parish was originally 4 maps long. This is probably would have been one of the longest maps in the game if it was left this way in the final version. So yes, the Parish was originally 4 maps long. It's a big mic drop moment. The big reason on why this was changed is this was probably way too long of an intro map, just too much. So I'm glad the devs did something smart and they split the level in 2, and they actually placed a lot of first aid kits to try to help survivors. In the original version of this map, you can actually see that stuff still intact, but I actually think this is a key thing, as these health packs always spawn halfway, and people have always wondered why there's just random 2 health packs every time you play this map for whatever reason. Well, I actually think these first aid kits actually make sense. When the map was originally a lot longer, it makes sense to put first aid kits in the halfway point here. It would actually allow for the survivors to at least have a little bit more breathing room. But people still wonder why they're here to this day in the final version. And I think these 2 health packs are actually kind of unnecessary now since the map is split into 2. In versus mode, it's almost as if the survivors have 6 to 7 kits, and they usually plan around these guaranteed first aid kit spawns. It's kind of annoying that they're actually still in this game to this day. So that's why people kind of like to complain about the Parish having too many health packs in the beginning. I actually think this is the reason why this is the case, is because originally this whole map was just a lot longer, so putting more first aid kits in map 1 and 2 just made sense when they were just one whole map. It's actually a common criticism for the campaign in versus mode. So yes, you can tell I'm a brain dead mapper, as yes, I care about first aid spawns. Personally, I'm glad they changed it. But it's interesting to see how much the Parish changed. This was one of the earliest maps that was actually going to be in the game.
This video is sponsored by ENEBA. ENEBA.com is a gaming marketplace with over 40,000 digital products and is continuously expanding to become your go-to platform for your gaming needs. ENEBA.com JesCurious.com offers the hottest deals on any title, old or new. There's discounts for games like Red Dead Redemption 2 to Minecraft to Mario Odyssey, Fortnite. They really care about customer satisfaction by offering 24/7 live support to resolve any concerns regarding a purchase. Whether you're a PC gamer or you prefer consoles, ENEBA has you covered. Use the link down below to get started with ENEBA.
For Dark Carnival, we can infer that they seem to have changed the campaign many times in development. And this is one of the coolest aspects that is left over in Left 4 Dead 2, is you can actually see a lot of this leftover stuff to this day. And this is the reason why there is just plenty of voice lines that actually go unused in Dark Carnival. And they resemble many aspects of just weird references that aren't actually in the campaign. So yeah, let me know if in a future video you want to see me do a video on Left 4 Dead's cut story elements and voice lines, because I definitely want to revisit that in a future video. But to dip into that here, there are some story elements that can be inferred because of these cut voice lines. Dark Carnival's finale actually changed multiple times, and this is one of the probably more interesting things that I'll definitely bring up in a different video. But Dark Carnival's finale had the hippie character. Nick, by the way, has probably the funniest lines that I've seen a survivor have with this guy, as he just is relentless with him for whatever reason. And these lines don't even get used in the game. But there's even more cut lines for each survivor saying, hey, not just turn on the lights, but, you know, blow up these firecrackers.
Somebody's in the control room. Hey, let us in! Don't make us shoot our way into the control room. Open the door now. You can drive. We'll all ride shotgun. Come on, man. Help us. What are you, an unfriendly hippie? I thought y'all had to be friendly. No one else is alive here, okay? There's got to be some kind of deal we can work out. I bet he's got a working shower in there, and he's not even using it. Wow. That's really cool. I'm sure Dusty will be honored. Always a stinking hippie. I swear to God, it always comes back to making a stinking hippie happy. There better be gas in that tour bus. For once, I wish we would have just stumbled onto some cops.
Hit the flashbangs! Hit the flash pots! Hit the spotlights! More! More! We need more! We gotta kill the tank before he lands.
Hit the spotlights! Hit the flash pots! More! We need more! Keep it up! Keep it up! The chopper pilot has gotta see this! I think the chopper pilot wants us to turn it down. It worked! God bless your bad taste in music, coach!
Hit the spotlights, baby! Keep it up! Keep it up! Hit the flashbangs! The chopper pilot has gotta see this! We need to crank this shit up, baby! He ain't gonna land till the tank is dead, man! Kill the tank!
People even speculate that possibly one of the rescue vehicles could have been a train, as yes, Swamp Fever begins with the survivors inside a train, and many people speculate that it was actually a very last minute decision to go with the helicopter instead. There's even people that speculate map 4 was a lot bigger at one point in development because, for example, there is actually a Ferris wheel in the campaign poster for Dark Carnival, yet you can't actually go there. It just seems weird to advertise a Ferris wheel and not actually go there. And there's even some rooms that were even changed very last minute in Dark Carnival that in some early E3 builds, but they eventually got changed for whatever reason. The passing of all maps has actually a lot of cut lines that are meant to imply that there was going to be a more complex map 2 panic event. And if you were, for whatever reason, to let go of the lift, you would actually get punished for that.
Hey, I didn't touch nothing. Hey, heads up, guys. Ladder's coming down. I don't know, guys. I got a bad feeling about this lift. Hell, it's up. Let's go. I got a good feeling about this lift.
God damn it, back in the shit water. God damn it, we're back in the toilet. Ellis, you test it. God damn elevator, hurry up. Looks real safe. Ellis, you go first. Ellis, what did you just do? God damn it, another elevator. Christ, you gotta be kidding me. Great. Back to the goddamn history of sewage.
Oh, come on, Jesus, Ellis.
Nick, my man, face it. We are walking through shit. Hey, Nick, try and keep your head above water. Don't trip, Nick. Nick, if I give you a piggyback ride, will you shut up about the sewer?
Hey, hold on there, boy. Let me get out the water.
Even the elevators are slow in the South. Oh, God, another lift? Of course not. Back in the water. I knew that wouldn't work. What was this? The history of lifts? We need to raise that lift. Get ready to go once we hit this button. Come on, lift, come on.
It was probably way too much of a difficulty spike for the survivors to get punished if they let go of the lift button. Your guess is as good as mine. Map 2 is already way too hard. Now, as far as deadline, however, they're really short and bite size, so they're maybe not exactly what you're looking for as far as a scrapped campaign goes, but you can play each and every single one of them. None of these maps are complete, and most of them are just untextured, boxy areas, but you can tell that they have a lot of nav elements. It would have been really short and bite-sized, as these levels feel really boxy and maybe not as interesting. There's some elements that I think they reuse in Left 4 Dead 2, like for example having a parking lot with a bunch of alarm cars. Kind of reminded me of map 3 of the parish that also does a similar thing. There apparently was plans for a Midnight Riders DLC campaign, and the rumor is that you would take control of the Midnight Riders. That would have been a lot of work to make new survivors just for one campaign, so maybe that idea got scrapped for that reason, as I personally would have loved to see this idea, as this definitely could have been something really cool as DLC, but maybe it was too much work. There's actually going to be a scrapped either campaign or a map based on Cabin in the Woods. It was actually confirmed by Valve on their own blog that this was something that they were considering. However, this project did not really materialize in any form, and the only thing that really materialized in this was the Left 4 Dead Special Infected being featured in a couple shots in the movie, but this hasn't leaked in any form as cut maps or anything like that. We don't even have any pictures of this stuff. We just know it was in development, or at least they were considering it. There's also plenty of development maps. This is probably one of the more interesting aspects that not a lot of people talk about. In Left 4 Dead 2, there's actually a lot of bite-sized levels that are only in the Source Hammer version of some of these maps that are, I guess, made for testing. Many people speculate a lot of this cut material were originally going to be planned for official levels that just didn't make the actual game. Here's one that resembles Parish, and yeah, you can see by a lot of the level design, this is definitely very similar to that campaign. Many people think maybe this was a scrapped area in the Parish. There's also one for Swamp Fever. We don't really know if these were actually planned to be in these campaigns, but many people speculate that it could have been a possibility and they were just maybe reusing some of these assets and throwing them onto Source Hammer as a way just for mappers to kind of look through this stuff and use it for testing reasons. These are really just speculated to just be leftover assets that are just probably like, here, we'll give them this and they can just look through this for themselves. Anyways, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. There is channel memberships down below if you guys want to get any videos early. You'll always get them early before anyone else. There's also an Instagram and a Discord. I hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are thriving. Expect a video on probably Left 4 Dead's cut story elements in the future, because I definitely want to talk about that. Rochelle's cut lines. And yeah, I think that would be a really interesting video. So I wanted to just kind of dip into some of those topics here, but also in a future video, expect a little bit more of a broader look at some of those cut lines.